So we're here at the Australian Taxpayers Alliance office with what we think is good news. A release has just gone up on the ATA website about the lockout laws. Tell us, Satya, what's that about?
Yeah, sure. So, lockout laws have basically turned Sydney's nighttime economy into a bit of a ghost town. The city used to be world renowned for its nightlife. It used to be up there with Amsterdam, London, and Berlin, and so on. But basically, after these laws came in, as a knee-jerk reaction to fatal assault on two people, which occurred at 9 p.m.
Right.
By perpetrators who were drunk already. Some of them were under the influence of harder substances. So the government, so-called Liberal government in 2011, made the decision to basically forcefully shut down all the bars, pubs, and clubs by around 2:30 a.m. and to have last drinks at around 1:30 a.m. And now a lot of people, like myself, in fact, reacted to this by saying, well, I'm generally home by then. I'm not a super party animal.
Right.
But it turns out that the businesses, the clubs that we love going to, could no longer make buck anymore. Couldn't pay the rent. So a lot of them just shut down, and a lot of workers were laid off. A lot of businesses suffered quite terribly, and the nighttime economy really did suffer because of this. And now the state government has agreed finally, after years of lobbying by groups like our group, the Taxpayers Alliance,
who was at the forefront, I may say, of this whole movement.
Absolutely. I've agreed to scrap these laws everywhere else except King's Cross. And now the New South Wales Government Select Committee on the Nighttime Economy has come out saying that they support that as well. And they want the government to go even further. They want the government to start treating us like adults.
Well, that's a crazy contention.
I know.
Especially in New South Wales.
I know, right? So they want to make it so that you can have unmixed drinks or shots after midnight. You can visit a bottle shop and stock up until midnight. And they're looking into 24-hour public transport as well.
That's fantastic. And so what are we expecting to see now? Because obviously that doesn't mean that tonight you and I can go out till 5 a.m., as much as we both may want to. So what are we going to start to see, do you think?
I think what we're going to start to see is, firstly, the state government has agreed to repeal lockout laws, so they will do that. I'm not sure exactly when that is slated to take place.
Okay.
But more importantly, the other recommendations the committee has made, there's no obligation on the government to action or implement them. However, there is a certain amount of persuasive weight now behind them.
Right.
There's no reason for them not to run with this, especially with many members of the New South Wales Parliament. People like, I'll give credit to John Graham from Labour. People like him, as well as several New South Wales MPs as well, from Liberals, for example, who want to see these laws gone. So we'll hopefully have a more free nighttime economy. As for the people of King's Cross, look, it's our position. We're going to keep fighting for them. That this decision, if it's something that the residents want, the neighbourhood's character has changed. It's more residential. It's more family friendly. But that should be a local council decision, not a state government diktat.
That's right. So, but at the moment, essentially what's happening is the state government has said, basically, lockout laws, to hell with them, except right here in King's Cross because of this controversy that happened X amount of years ago between people that were on drugs, and it happened before the lockout laws would have even helped in that case. What we're essentially looking for is a more residential, a more council-based model, is what you're saying. We want to make sure that the state government isn't saying this area yes and this area no based on our interpretations, and rather having the councils listen to their own constituents and say, well, you know what? Turns out the people of King Cross don't matter. Don't mind too much if 2 days a week there's people drinking till 5.
Look, yeah, pretty much. Look, we believe in decentralized decision making. We believe that the people on the ground are best placed to make decisions about their own lives. And keep in mind, while the character of the area has become more residential, and some residents might not like the idea of living next door to living not too far from bars and clubs which are open quite late. A lot of the residents here are technically businesses, and they generate a lot of tax revenue for the state government. They generate a lot of they generate rates for the council as well. And I think part of council's job is supporting businesses. And I think if it can be shown that these businesses aren't going to affect local amenity by staying open a little bit later, then there's no reason why the laws cannot be repealed for King's Cross as well.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that we see many positive changes in the weeks and months to come. we'll certainly have you on, hopefully, to tell us a bit more about it. And thanks so much for taking the time, Satya.
No worries.